I already showcased the awesome new epic Isu gear in my previous video, but you can also get a new legendary gear set and new legendary weapons by playing the first episode of the Fate of Atlantis DLC. Including the really cool looking first civilization set that makes one of the 4 new enhanced abilities even better. I will also showcase these new abilities in this video, so there's a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. A like on the video would of course be super appreciated, and let's go. Let's start with a new legendary bow that you can find in this DLC. It's actually missable. You can loot it from a chest in the mausoleum of the Kingless Queen Fort, and I hope I pronounced it right. It's next to one of the pieces of the recipe that you need to find for a quest, so it's pretty hard to miss this chest. It's a really cool, awesome looking bow with the lights coming out of it, wings on both sides, and a really cool unique perk that pushes enemies back when you crit with a bow charged shot. So you want to focus on charging your bow and then releasing the arrow. And of course a ton of crit chance is handy as well to have this effect trigger as often as possible. So getting the crit chance while full health mastery level, for example, is super smart with this bow. As a hunter player, you want to make sure that the enemies are as far away from you as possible, and this perk will really help with that. The bow has the bow charging speed, so that is of course great in combination with this legendary perk. And I sadly don't have a ton of crit chance on this character because I was playing on a Ubisoft build, but when you are high enough level and focused on getting the crit chance, then this bow is pretty powerful. You can also engrave extra crit chance of course on this bow if you want. You can also get a new legendary sword in this DLC, Caduceus Blade, that will unlock after you finish the first episode, with the awesome silver wings on the handle, the gold wings near the blade, and the blade itself looks awesome as well. It is a warrior blade that has the adrenaline on hit perk and enhances one of the new enhanced abilities. Because that is the thing in this DLC, you unlock alternative versions of some of the abilities that were already in the game, including the Bull Rush ability, where you this time don't charge yourself, but instead send a hologram of a bull towards the target. And you need to have rank 3 of this Bull Rush ability to be able to switch between the enhanced one. And you can easily switch back to the regular ability as well if you want. Although I think that this one is more powerful. And that is thanks to the enhanced range and the fact that you don't launch yourself towards the enemies, but can still hit enemies from far away as a warrior player. So you only summon one hologram of a bull after getting this ability from the Keeper's Insight during the Keeper and the Keymaker quest. So you will get it eventually when you just play through this DLC. But once you get this sword after finishing the DLC, you do not summon 1 but 3 bulls that will charge towards the target, increasing the radius of the ability as well, especially at a longer range. So if you really love using this ability, then you might want to use the sword, or of course engrave the legendary perk of this weapon on any other weapon in the game. The most powerful new ability by far though from this new episode is the Ares Madness, that, as I already predicted in my April content video, enhances the battle cry of Ares, but drastically changes it. And that is really the thing with all these enhanced abilities. They are based on abilities that we already knew, but they are really changed a ton, making them almost feel like completely new abilities. The Ares Madness gives you full power of the Broken Spear of Leonidas and lets you swing that around, ignoring the shields of the enemies. And you can also do a heavy attack, and that is basically the end of the overpower ability from a spear, knocking the enemies back as well. But also when you activate the ability, you already deal a ton of damage to surrounding enemies, so make sure that when you do it, there are a ton of enemies near you. The biggest change though is that your attacks now deal assassin damage, 35% to be exact, so this is now an assassin ability, while you still can't die when this ability is active. The ability lasts for 10 seconds, but when you have the full new Verse Civilization set on, then the duration is doubled. So then it's active for 20 seconds, and in that time you will easily be able to take out multiple enemies. So yes, a set based on this really powerful ability. Sounds great, right? Well, that is the only positive thing I can say about this set. It's an assassin set, but it has low health perks on the braces, for example, increasing the crit damage. We also find the exact same perks on the waist, and the boots has some crit chance while low health. And of course this works great with the Ares Madness ability, since you cannot die, so you can easily be low health while this ability is active. Make sure that you first get hit a lot, of course. Don't use the mastery level or the perk that gives you health back, because then you will not be low health and then the perks are not applied. So that already kind of sucks for the regular combat, because getting health back while you do damage is of course really nice. things, but there are way more things wrong with this set. Because as an assassin player, you will be mostly sneaking around and assassinating enemies while you have full health. Meaning that you will only really be low health during this ability, so that most of the times the perks on this set are not active. And the ability also has a significant cooldown. Like, you totally want to use the engraving from the Medusa sword to decrease the time that you have to wait for this ability. But even with that perk, you will still be waiting a long time before you can do the Ares Madness again. So building all your gear around that ability is just not really smart. And also the ability is already really strong. So it does not really need that extra low health crit damage or crit chance. I would even argue that full health perks are great with this ability as well, since with the damage dealt restored as health and the second wind ability, you can easily maintain a full health bar while you slash multiple enemies. And that would make your overall assassin playstyle great as well. So I would say go for the look, because this set looks of course really amazing. But in terms of perks, it's really bad. What you can do is of course engrave the set bonus from this first civilization set on any boots in the game. It only adds 3 extra seconds though, so I don't think that that is worth the perk slot. You, by the way, unlock this engraving, aka the full set, after finishing the first episode of the Fate of Atlantis. Then you get the headgear, so you got the set bonus. But yeah, overall the Ares Madness ability is really great for every assassin player, even for warrior players. But to make a whole build around it though with low health perks is really not worth it. You find this one, by the way, in the Buried Silence cave that is near the palace. Just follow that and then you can unlock this enhanced ability. An assassin ability was also enhanced in this first episode and kind of made into a hunter ability. I'm talking about the slow time ability that is now called Kronos Time Warp. So it will still slow down the time, but now you have to focus on headshots, because that will extend the duration by 2.5 seconds. Your headshot damage is also increased by 125% when this ability is active. And the ability is over after 5 headshots. But yeah, this ability can be active for a pretty long time if you perform these headshots, and especially if you have a hunter build with a ton of crit chance as well, you can easily take out multiple enemies with just one use of this ability. Again, I was playing this DLC on a Ubisoft console with not a really good character, so I can't really show you the full power of this ability, but the possibilities are totally there. You get this one during a quest, or actually in a location you will have to visit for the sudden and new quest, where you have to infiltrate Gaia's underpass. So just fully explore the tomb, and in the end you will get this awesome enhanced ability. The final enhanced ability that we can unlock in this first episode, because yes, there should be more in the second episode and in the third one as well. This one is called Smite of Artemis and enhances the Rain of Destruction ability that I never really used before, to be honest, because you had to like aim, choose a target and then let go. Now you just activate the ability and then the arrows will appear around you, stunning the enemies for 5 seconds, but they also take crit damage from melee attacks and abilities. And thanks to the stun, you can easily start hitting the enemies or simply get away and start shooting them again from afar. The low cooldown and the fact that it's easy to use makes this really a nice addition for any hunter player, but maybe even for the warrior players as well, because again, it creates an opening for a new combo as well. You also have to track down this enhanced ability. You find it over here on the map. You have to dive underwater to find a cave and then get to the end of that to find the keepers inside and claim this enhanced ability. I was pretty impressed by the size of this first episode, and now I really can't wait for the second one and the third one as well. Looking forward to playing the DLC again, but then on my main save, because again, everything was here on a Ubisoft console. But I really like the story of the first episode, how it unraveled, and there were some interesting choices that you could make, and the missions got a little bit more varied as well. I still want to do a video on all the new Izu looks that you could find, because again, all the blue and epic gear that you can find adds a new look to the visual customization window. And actually, upon installing the DLC, you will see all the new options, but you will only be able to select them when you got the gear. For example, I still need these awesome looking helmets. So if you got them, totally send a shot of them to my input@JorRaptor.com email address that you see right here on the screen. Twitter @JorRaptor or my Instagram JorRaptor works as well. We'll highlight them in a future video, including the weekly reset. I already have a stream up about that, what Sargon is selling this week, etc. We'll link to that at the end of this video. Subscribe, of course, for everything Odyssey. A like on the video would be super appreciated. And now let's get to Sargon as well. Here you will also see his new weekly selection if you haven't checked it yet. And I'm of course going there to get the freaking Hades Lieutenant. So yes, it's of course really cool that I can play the DLC early to show you all the new gear early, but that also means that I don't have it yet on my real character. So, like I already said, I have to replay the game again. Oh, we have a mercenary there. Let's quickly just try and get the freaking Hades Lieutenant, shall we? Come on. Okay, epic. Sledgehammer. Warrior fire damage, crit damage. Not bad. Not bad if you want a fire mace. Whoa, there is nobody here. That's really weird. But you of course know that I'm going to pick another character. With the fire arrow. I'm going to blow this guy away. He will die eventually from the fire. Burn. Like standing still doesn't really work. So yes, subscribe for way more Odyssey content. Again, I will have a video up about the epic gear, like all the different things. Want to make some videos about other things as well. I really hope you have a fun time playing the DLC. Check out my previous video on the awesome epic ESO gear there. I already showcased some things, some other Atlantis stuff if you haven't already. Like this video to support the channel, and I will of course speak to you next time. Goodbye.